At the GLAAD Awards this year, Rufus Wainwright accepted his award, and he said it was important to sort of remind the LGBT community themselves, who live in areas where they do feel safe to congregate, that it's not always that safe anymore. It's not okay everywhere just yet.
It's a scary world out there, you know, especially people that you count on to protect you. My biggest fear when I started going to support group meetings, long before I imagined that I would ever transition, was being pulled over by the police, you know, for a nothing reason, and finding myself kind of at the mercy of somebody who chose to be ignorant or who chose to use their position of power to make a statement on me. And when we see these things happen, whether it's racist, whether it's, you know, GLBT, whatever, it reminds us that we do live in a world where there is hate, where there is intolerance, and that people who should know better, people who are there to support those of us who are defenseless, those of us who need protection, can often be our enemies. The thing that was so shocking about this particular video in Memphis wasn't just what happened, what these officers did. It's watching other people in the room turn their backs while they were macing her in the face. It's watching the nurse come into the room and brush by this bleeding, maced woman to see if the police officer is okay.
Right.
And I think that what broke down in Memphis, if you watch it from start to end, is just step after step after step of breakdown, based on intolerance and based on ignorance.
Do you think some of the bystanders didn't become involved because they were afraid of the reflection on them if they helped this transgender person?
I couldn't even answer because I can't even imagine. One of my favorite quotes is that all it takes for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. And basically what happened in that room is good people did nothing.
What would you like to see as next steps for those who want to do more?
Well, there is so much to do that people, you know, one of the great byproducts of what's happened over the last year is I've got much more involved with youth. I mean, I think that sometimes it's easy to get jaded when you do a lot of work with politics or a lot of work kind of banging your head against the wall. But when you're working with kids, you see the resiliency of these kids who live in families where they're not accepted, who go to schools where they're not accepted, where their family is basically the communities that they get together. And so I can't stress enough how important it is to support and protect and be there as a role model for our youth. The election is coming, and we have a chance to make a significant statement by putting people in office who will support equality, who will support our concerns, who will be there for us. And if nothing else, get out and vote.
Absolutely.
And get your family to vote, get your friends to vote, make sure they understand where the candidates stand, and make sure that you've done your work to make sure that the right things happen, because certainly Denver will be in the spotlight here in just a few weeks.
Well, thank you so much. I think that's a great next step, is to make sure that we take care of our community's youth, but also show individual leadership by making sure we're registered to vote and educated on the issues.